Greetings to my 1098 subscribers, and of course you, my future subscriber. Still busy traveling, having a fantastic time here in sunny Africa, although it was kind of raining, thunderstorm today, so a little bit cooled down today, but still fantastic place to be, fantastic people. Did a little bit of window shopping the other day. I will put a link at the end card so that you can see what you will pay for whiskey here in Africa. I was hoping to go into the shop and maybe find something that is overlooked, cheap price. Of course, a big mistake. I walked into the shop, made a quick video, and walked out empty-handed. Luckily, I did bring some samples for just that specific occasions. It's Friday evening. It's been a hard week, and of course, after a hard week, you need a little bit of something to relax. And tonight is going to be the Dewars Portuguese Smooth, 8 years old. Bottle at 40% ABV. Definitely, probably not natural color. Maybe a little bit of color added to it. Of course, there is some chill filtration at 40%. Color-wise, not too bad. There is a nice tint to it. 8 years old, matured in ex-bourbon cask, and when they finish it off in port cask. And with a little bit of digging, I did see somebody was mentioning ruby port cask. So I'm quite looking forward to giving this a quick nose and a taste, see what we can find. It is entry level. It is on a cheap side. Not 100% sure how much you will pay for a full bottle, but I will, after the video, will give you the exact amount that I will be paying in Belgium. So a little bit expensive though. So again, I'm still in the hotel, so it's going to be a cup. Unfortunately, I did go check if I can't get a little whiskey glass. It's apparently not possible, so I'm stuck with the cup. Review number 2 with a coffee cup. Nice clean one. So I'm just going to give it a wee pour. I give it a little bit of a nose and a taste. And it's quite nice. The first impressions that I do have with this one, port. Definitely port. There's a lovely sweetness coming out, but it is not a sickening, overly sweet port note that comes out. There's a little bit of a woody, dusty, oaky note coming out as well. It reminds me a little bit of an old woodwork shop, and maybe a little bit of a stained furniture on the side, or freshly stained furniture. So there's a little bit of that furniture polish note coming out, but quite pleasant. But definitely a little bit of a dusty note and a hint. And I think it reminds me a little bit of a charred oakiness that comes out, but it's not really a smoky one. So lovely sweet on the nose. A little bit of a chocolate note, like a dark chocolate note. A little bit of a fruity note. Reminds me a little bit of a mixture, of a jam mixture that they have blackberries and they have a little strawberries in it. So a little bit of jammy strawberry and the blackberry mixture. Of a little bit of a sweetness, but it is not overly sweet. Quite nice actually. And the strawberries is a little bit more strawberries in it. Actually quite nice. A little bit of a what we call it Nesquik. The strawberry Nesquik that you mix with milk, that little strawberry flavors, that artificial strawberry flavors that's coming out. They're quite nice, fruity on the nose. I kind of like it. And every time that I go back, it seems to, even at that low 40% ABV, it feels like it's opening up a little bit more. It becomes a little bit sweeter, a little bit more of the port that actually is coming forward, less of the strawberry jam now, but I still get that woody, oaky note. Quite pleasant actually. I'm a little bit surprised. I did like the Japanese. Smooth. So quite an interesting one on the nose. And if it goes into the taste and we get that same lovely notes, I will be quite happy with this one. So cheers. It's smooth. It's funny. It's sweet. The port is definitely there. It's drinkable. Well, I don't think that's a good word to use. But on the first sip, yeah, for me it is drinkable. The alcohol, very low on the alcohol. There's a little bit of an alcohol warmth coming through. There's a little bit of a spicy note coming through. A little bit of a sour note as well. So the first sip, not really disappointing, but it's definitely nothing that I will jump up and down and say I want more, more, more. But of course we need to give it another try. Cheers. There's a little bit of an oak build-up. On the second sip, I get that oakiness, that dusty note that translates into the taste as well. So I definitely, that 8 years on the cask definitely had an influence, and I think it's about 6 months that they have it in the port oak, and definitely I can feel that port oak gave quite a lot, and I think it was quite maybe a wet cask that they are using, especially with the color that was added. A little bit of a vanilla also on the taste. Let's give it a nice try. Yeah, a little bit of a vanilla, a little bit of that fruity jammy note coming out, and that strawberry jam is still there. I don't get any of the chocolate notes, but I do get a little bit of a bitter note in the end. And a little bit of a fruit spices, fruit cake spices, maybe something like a cinnamon, a little bit of a nutmeggy, and a little bit of a pepper note on it. To be honest, well, last try. It is not a long finish. It's something you put in your mouth. There's a sweetness, a port, a little bit of oakiness, and then gone. So definitely quite short on the finish, and leaves you a little bit of a warm feeling, a fuzzy feeling in the end. So final thoughts. Is it something that I would recommend? Well, I think it's entry level. And I think when I taste this whiskey, I'm thinking of a couple of words. Think basic. I would add think entry level. Maybe a little bit of a mediocre. It's a little bit of a tough word, but I think it is nothing spectacular. If you are into whiskey and you've been doing this for quite a number of years, and you had some fantastic whiskies in your life, I think going down to something like this is going to be a little bit of a stretch of the imagination. So will I be buying this one? I'm not 100% convinced. I think there's a lot more whiskey out there that deserve my attention or deserve the small space that I have left in the bar. But as an entry level, and I will have a look afterwards to see what is the actual cost of this one. I know for this sample, I only paid €4.50 for a sample, so I presume it's going to be quite cheap. Well, actually there's no such thing as cheap whiskey anymore, but I think it's going to be quite reasonable. If it's reasonable, maybe 35 euros, I might consider buying up, use it as a cocktail maybe. But as it is now, not 100% convinced. Price will dictate if I will buy it again. So thank you very much for watching. It's going to take some time to make this into a video, and editing on this bloody iPad, it's incredibly difficult for me. But it's a learning curve, and I'm learning every day how to use this DaVinci Resolve on iPad. Oh my word, it's frustrating. But anyway, so thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Take a look at the end card. I will put the video on the Japanese smooth so that you can also take a look at that. So thank you very much, and I see you next time, hopefully with a nice whiskey in the end. Cheers.